Close NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell made a statement to the media saying, "We believe everyone should stand for the national anthem." USA Today details have emerged from a confidential meeting among NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, owners, players and executives last October, in which the sides discussed President Trump and the impact controversial national anthem protests were having on the league. The New York Times obtained an audio recording of the nearly 3-hour meeting, with many of the participants revealing some striking opinions. What was the meeting supposed to accomplish? Addressing the concerns players such as Colin Kaepernick were raising? Limiting the public relations hit the NFL was taking? Working together to show a unified front? Here are the participants whose words made the greatest impact. The good Philadelphia Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie cautioned the group about overreacting to Trump's criticism. "We've got to be careful not to be baited by Trump or whomever else," he said. "We have to find a way to not be divided and not get baited." Former San Francisco 49ers defensive back Eric Reid said he felt his former teammate Kaepernick was hung out to dry by the league. "Nobody stepped up and said we support Colin's right to do this. We all let him become public enemy number one in this country, and he still doesn't have a job." Eagles defensive lineman Chris Long offered owners an opportunity to respond to a question that has remained unanswered: why Kaepernick wasn't on an NFL roster when we all agree in this room as players that he should be on a roster. If that were the case, Long said, all this negativeness and divisiveness could be turned into a positive. NY Giants owner Robert Marr expressed hope of reaching common ground. "We have a chance to do something monumental." Former wide receiver Anquan Boldin called for owners to support the idea of working together to promote societal change, letting people know it's not just the players that care about these issues, but the owners, too. That sentiment was later reflected in a joint statement issued after the meeting ended. Despite calls for a united front, some owners believe the players were the ones standing in the way of progress. Houston Texans owner Bob McNair told the players they first needed to stop kneeling during the anthem. "You fellas need to ask your compadres, fellas. Stop that other business. Let's go out and do something that really produces positive results, and we'll help you." Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pegula was even more direct, claiming the league was under assault because of the rising tide of protests, sponsor unhappiness and declining TV ratings. "We need some kind of immediate plan because of what's going on in society," he said. "All of us now, we need to put a band-aid on what's going on in the country." He also suggested the league find a point person, preferably a player, to combat what he called the media problem. But his example was a poor choice, considering the already charged political climate. "For years we've had the National Rifle Association use Charlton Heston as a figurehead," Pegula said. "We need a spokesman for us to have a face. As an African American, at least a face that could be in the media. We could fall in behind that." The curious Goodell stated at the beginning of the meeting, "Let's make sure to keep this confidential." The audio eventually becoming public doesn't look good for someone who's had public conflicts with players and some NFL owners. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft has been a longtime public supporter of Trump, but had some harsh words for the president behind closed doors. "The problem we have is, we have a president who will use that as fodder to do his mission that I don't feel is in the best interests of America," Kraft said. "It's divisive, and it's horrible." As for the NFL's interests, Kraft was one who directed the discussion from Kaepernick's situation to what he called the elephant in the room: Kaepernick and other players kneeling during the anthem. However, Kraft did try to move the group forward in the same direction with the statement it released at the meeting's conclusion. "It would be good if you could work in the word unified or unity in some fashion." Follow Gardner on Twitter at